Do you want to build muscle but without your training getting boring? Because the reality is, if you are looking to build muscle, eventually you are going to get bored of your training, and this comes down to one key thing, and that is that in order to build muscle, you need to be applying something known as progressive overload, which means increasing the reps or the weight over time. So you have to force your body to adapt to see changes in shape. Now, the only way you're going to do this is if you keep some consistency in your exercise selection. So the only way that you can be sure that you're adding reps and weight over time is if you're doing it to the same exercise. Now, this inherently means that eventually you are going to get bored of doing the same exercises over and over again. And unfortunately, the most efficient way of building muscle can get a bit stale eventually. So what I'm going to be doing here is giving you a quick process to think about of how and when to change your exercises, how to keep your training interesting while still progressing. If you're changing your exercises every single week, you are essentially just leaving your results to chance, because you have no way of keeping any consistent variables to check if the weights are going up, so you can't be sure that you're building muscle. Now, let's circle back quickly to how we build muscle in the first place. Two things need to be present. The first thing is training close to failure, and I will sound like a broken record here going on about this in every single video, and that is because in my experience, so many people leave too many reps in the tank, so they don't push themselves close enough to failure. Once I started stop doing too many sets in the gym, I stopped doing 4, 5, 6 working sets on every exercise, doing too much overall volume, which is your sets and reps. Once I stopped doing that and focused on the quality of those sets, pushing myself to within 2 reps of failure, taking some exercises to failure, some 1 or 2 left in the tank on the more challenging exercises, so like a back squat for example. Once I started doing that and going closer to failure, my results went so much better, and I built way more muscle way quicker. So I cannot emphasize that enough. Focus on training close to failure, not leaving more than 1 or 2 reps in the tank on every working set that you're tracking. And then progressive overload is the process by which you gradually add reps over time on the same weight and set. So pick 3 sets on an exercise, add reps, perfect your form. Then when you're confident at the top end of a rep range, you add a bit of weight on, lower the reps, build back up. So doing this is going to ensure that you build muscle. Now, what do we do when we get sick of the training, when we get bored of it, or we get frustrated at a exercise not progressing? Well, what we do is I would recommend that you think about firstly sticking to a training program for about 3 months, or an initial 12-week phase. This gives you enough time to develop the skill component of each exercise, because if you imagine doing 15 different exercises across different workouts, you've got to get good at the skill of that exercise and targeting the muscles that we're trying to train. Are you really feeling your biceps when you're doing a bicep curl? Are you connecting with the muscle that you're trying to train on a particular exercise? Now, if you change 15 exercises at the end of a 3-month plan, you are going to have to get up to speed with all of those new exercises. So what is smarter is picking a smaller amount of exercises to change, maybe 2 or 3 at a time, and you just switch variation between exercises. So for example, if you are really not enjoying a barbell bench press and it's not progressing for over a period of 2 or 3 months, you could switch that to a different variation which still trains the same muscles. So the pecs, the chest, bit of the front of the shoulder, the front delts and the triceps. So that could be another chest press variation. So dumbbell chest press, either incline or flat, machine chest press. So you're just switching it out for a different variation. Now, similarly, you could do a different ab exercise if you're getting bored of the one you're doing. You could change the bicep exercise you're doing or the tricep exercise, but you probably don't want to change every big compound, meaning multiple muscle groups, exercise at the same time, because if you change all of your variations, you're going to have to get used to training that exercise and connecting with the muscles that you're trying to train. So think of it like this. Firstly, number 1, are you enjoying your training? If you're not enjoying your training and there's some exercises that you don't enjoy, consider switching them out in combination with number 2. Am I progressing this exercise? By which I mean, are you getting either better with the form or adding reps or are you adding weight over time? If you're doing any of those things and it is improving over time, over a period of 2 or 3 months, then there's no real reason to switch it out. If you're enjoying an exercise or you don't mind it and it's progressing, just run with it as long as you can and don't chop and change. If you don't enjoy an exercise and potentially it's not progressing because of that, the two are interlinked, then you should consider really switching it out. And that is how I would do it. So tweaking a couple of exercises here and there after every 3-month block, and then pulling in some new exercises, trying them out. If you enjoy them more, you're probably more likely to progress your training. And that is exactly how you go about keeping the training interesting, while keeping enough exercises consistent to track progress to make sure that you are building muscle. I hope you found that video useful. If you did, drop it a like and hit subscribe for more content like this, simplifying fat loss and muscle building. I will see you on the next video. Have a fantastic rest of your day.